So who are you and why are we here?
Yeah, so my name is Chris. I'm the product owner for Maschine MK3. I'm going to give you a little demo walkthrough of the new controller we have. And yeah, hope you like it.
Cool, man. Let's check it out.
Okay. I purchased Maschine Studio myself. Let's say when it first came out a couple of years ago, I was working at a different job and was just blown away with the technology. You know, I was definitely getting bored of the linear, arrangement and, mouse clicks and keyboards and stuff like this, computers. So it's really cool for me to kind of sit here and be the one working on the new Maschine, giving it to the world. And yeah, for me, we've now, taken something that was already good and just really enhanced it and made production more fun again. That's what I really love about what we're doing at Native Instruments and Maschine, especially now with all the keeping you more engaged with the actual hardware itself, playing it like an instrument.
Right.
It's for me, it's just been the reason why I wanted to work at Native Instruments and actually kind of bring this to the world, and I really feel like we've kind of nailed it with this new controller. All right, so here's the new Maschine MK3. We started this project about 2 years ago. We really started talking with hundreds of users, from professional artists to bedroom producers, and surveys, and we really tried to identify what we wanted to do with this controller. We've kind of created this new, without the power on, you'll see it's black laser etched buttons, so it makes a really clean interface. So when you turn it on, it's basically just kind of a really minimal kind of look and feel. We've also increased the pad size, so it's a lot easier to hit, and we've also made them a little bit more sensitive, but it's the same center to center finger distance, so your muscle memory will be the same. Just with that as well, we've recessed in the knob caps, and they're really kind of stuck in there as well, so they're not, obviously they won't fall off, but we've kind of just really made the design a lot more sleek. We have a audio interface, so it's 24-bit, 96 kilohertz, 2 in, 2 out. We also have a mic input for dynamic microphones, because this is a USB powered device, and also MIDI in and out, and expression and sustain pedal, which is auto detect. We've also opted for physical volume knobs, so this will, obviously if you have to turn it down quickly. It's also a standalone audio interface, so it's a class compliant audio interface, so it's really nice to have a physical knob, and it all fits in your backpack pretty tight. The bottom is metal, just to make it a lot more sturdy, and to kind of fit all the electronics inside. And the knobs are touch sensitive? Yeah, all the knobs are touch sensitive here, but on the back they're not touch sensitive. Yeah. So what you notice here is you have a 4-directional encoder. So you can go up, down, left, right, and you can turn, and you can push. So basically, it's taking a D-pad and a encoder knob and putting it into the same thing. So for instance, for browsing, you can find your kit where you want here. You can go over here to select which kit you want. So it's really easy for that.
Makes it faster.
Super fast, yeah. And also mixing, you can go from, for instance, sound level to, you can go through. You see, going through all the sounds here.
Yep.
Mix your sound. Go up to the group level if you have multiple groups. And yeah, just really quick ease of use. So this is basically, everything that's great about all the Maschine controllers kind of put into one. We have the nice big displays here, quick access to Ranger mixer, browser, sampling, but also we've added in more stuff from the hardware. So this is like the file management. So you can go new file, you have your recent projects on the right. You can save a new copy, just up version your project, so really quick.
Updated or versions of your projects you can save.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you save the original project from there?
Yeah, you can just save as, but it'll put you up a dialog.
Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We've also consolidated some of the settings into another pad, or another button. So this is, for record mode, metro, and we're probably going to add a couple more setting type features in there.
Yeah, cool, man. Now, for all the dreamers out there, how did you go from just being a user to creating the next controller?
Yeah, actually,
so that's an interesting jump.
Yeah, so funny story. I started computer science, let's say 15 years ago, like in university. Always been a DJ right from the beginning. buying vinyls from, I grew up in Calgary in Canada, buying vinyls from Hard to Find Records in London, always kind of getting my music from Europe. And then I went into this path of university into computer science, software development, and kind of got more into the management side of things. So account management, project management, but the whole time was having this other path of, DJing and music production. And, so it was really cool that at a point, my two worlds kind of came together, and it really came together when I was getting sick and tired of producing in the traditional, using the mouse, computer time, like this kind of thing. Yeah. And where, I come from a guitar playing background as well. So for me to pick up the Maschine and then to start playing it like an instrument, this was where the two worlds kind of collided. And I think it was just right place, right time. I was working in a different industry as a products manager, and it's really cool to be, right place, right time. Made an application, and within a couple weeks, things were moving. So, and it's really cool to come to Berlin, work on the new machine from scratch.
Right.
Talking to users, what do you want? How can we do this? And talking to the engineers, amazing engineers in Germany. Yeah.
Now, as someone who came up with this, or was part of the process from the beginning, what is your favorite feature on the new controller, functionality wise?
You know what it is? Definitely, it's the perform effects and the lock functionality, and just the kind of the stuff that we've introduced with Jam. Because for me, 2 years ago when I started this project, I had to define a bunch of requirements, because it takes a long time for the teams to break it down and to actually engineer this kind of thing. And so I was kind of taking a little bit of a bet that this feature is going to be amazing, and it turned out to be amazing. And just with the integration in your workflow, like right in front of your eyesight with the screens, I think this was really killer. Yeah, for sure. So you can now select, you just go shift perform, and you have your basic perform effects.
Yeah.
So really quick to add them in, but you also have all your parameters here. So say for instance, stutter is always fun. But say if you wanted to do more of a pitch stutter instead of that. Yeah. Quick access to all of them. So scratcher. Yes, endless fun. Also with this touch strip, you have pitch.
Okay, so it's a pitch wheel.
Yep.
Does it also do mod wheel?
Yeah, it does mod wheel as well, and also you can record all of your automations into the software as well. So
from the pitch wheel.
Yeah, exactly. It just records
the script, whatever you want to call it.
Exactly. It records as just as the automation for that sound. So it's great. As you know from Jam, it allows you to lock the kind of parameter settings. All parameter settings in the project. So it's really cool to show you the macro level, because we already have all these great macros already laid out. Yeah. But for instance, if we just lock, so this is the easiest way to show this, we lock the current state, and if we want to mess with stuff, go back to the previous state with the push of a button. So it's even cooler is now we can set a morph time. Well, this is in Jam as well, but it's nice to have this right in front of you.
Right.
So lock it. You can mess up as much as you want. So now it's going to travel over 2 bars. Back to the clean state, whatever you want.
Now, can you still store those locks?
Yes, you can. Yeah, exactly. So let's say, for instance, go shift to extended lock. We'll say this is our first setting. So this is our first snap, or traditional snapshot, but our extended lock state. Now, if we want to create another one with the effects that you just heard, let's just make it travel over half a bar though. Okay, and then let's first of all mess this up. So that's going to be the second state.
Gotcha.
So now you can basically have as many snapshot states as you want, or extended lock states. Yep. Yeah, so I think with the combination between the new macro, easy assign, just shift macro, you can assign any touch sensitive knob to your macros, along with the perform effects and lock. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, so just quickly I'll show you the macro assign. So just with shift macro, so if you have a sound you want, let's say for instance a grain delay, just to make it sound a little bit cooler. Grain delay. So go here, go over here. Let's just add up some. So now if we want to, for instance, assign this to a macro, we just go shift macro, and let's say we want to do the mix. So we'll touch that. You'll see a little knob sign show up there, and basically this has now been added to our, here it is here, it's to the macro page.
Gotcha.
So you can turn it on, you can turn it up. Yeah, so just a really quick way to kind of set your macros from the hardware. We brought all these pad input mode buttons, so everyone had to go 1 or 2 steps in, but now we have those right above the pads to keep it really quick. So pad mode, keyboard, chords, step.
Yep.
We've also brought in fixed velocity, so I know you can now hit it with just the touch of a button.
Yeah.
This was also one of those things that you had to go 1 step in, so we wanted to bring that up. We also brought in the variation engine, so people really like this from the Jam.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's based, you can add in either random events for a sound, or you can humanize certain patterns that you have with this variation engine. We haven't changed so much, and everything that you've seen so far is like it's just a very simple iteration to what is already works.
Yeah.
So it's just the way that this is integrated here. It's just really easy to use. when you're now seeing everything to do with the perform effects, and you can as you're performing, you can kind of adjust the parameters. I think it's just a fine little iteration that really makes
definitely
sense.
makes it a bit more accessible than it was on the Jam.
Exactly.
Having the screen and stuff right there. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
Saw some cool stuff. I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's been a long time coming. Can't wait to get my hands on it. So
nice.
Thanks for having me out, man. Appreciate it.
You bet. Cheers.